Hey, what's up, guys? So, I'm kind of starting a new thing. Recently, I've gotten back into collecting and completing different types of games. And the reason why I'm doing this, making this video, is because I kind of got myself in a gaming loop of stagnation, which I would call the shooter loop. Because I primarily played shooter games like Call of Duty and Destiny for like 7 years straight. And I kind of got bored of gaming. And I was like, why is gaming so not, why is gaming not fun anymore? And then I came to realization is I put myself in this horrible loop that I'm now trying to break out of. So, this is kind of uh, starting my journey of getting back into becoming what I call a real gamer. So my goals for 2022 is to get 100,000 gamer score on Xbox, and then to also get 30 platinums on PlayStation. And I know that's gonna sound like a lot, or maybe a little to some people, but the whole part of this is to play games I like and enjoy. Obviously, I set goals for myself. If I don't make them, that's fine. But it's more just to give me more of an incentive to get out there and try different games I may not have heard of or may not have even tried to pick up until now. And luckily there's sites out there like PlayStation Profiles and True Achievements, which you'll probably see right now. Me going through, and I'm not too worried about playing games for the sake of trophies and achievements, because that's not really the reason why I'm doing this. Like I said, it's to kind of get me to play games that, one, to play games I normally wouldn't have tried, and two, find games that are kind of like hidden gems. And one of the things I also would like to do is get a lot of my backlog done, because I have a lot of games that I own that I've either played and stopped playing or picked up and never even started. So let's do kind of like get me through a lot of the games that I already own, so so I don't waste money. So I'd like to get that completion rank up a little bit on both Xbox and PlayStation, but it's not the sole purpose why I'm doing this. Because if I'm not enjoying a game, I'm willing to drop it. Like, these stats are not that big of an issue for me. It's just there to kind of give me a little motivational boost. But at the end of the day, it's more just to enjoy gaming. But thanks to these sites, you get to really see your stats on your account of what games you play, what you haven't completed, what other people are doing, and they even give you guides to help complete these games, which I think is really cool. So now we're gonna go over to Xbox. I'm gonna give you a rundown of both systems that I'm currently playing. So this is currently my list of games that I have completed recently, and I kind of started this back in November 2021. But the two games I actually just started playing recently is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is a really good game. It's very short but very easy to complete, but the story behind it is absolutely incredible. And then recently, this one shocked me. I don't know why people aren't talking about this game, at least not from what I've seen. And also, it's extremely cheap. It's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and the best way I can describe this is kind of like a mix of like Final Fantasy, like um, RPG combat, and then Gears of War shooting, where you get your like perfect reload and the way things work. This is a really good game, and it's like $20. But going back to what I was originally talking about is, you get to kind of see what I'm trying to do here. Like, I've gone through different games and completed them. And, during this, how I was saying, pick up games that I normally wouldn't have. I'm not really much of a horror type person when it comes to gaming. But recently I've played the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan. And this was really good. And also, while I was playing this, I also found out that the people that made the Dark Pictures anthology also made a game on PlayStation called Until Dawn, and that's also another horror game that I really enjoyed, which was surprising to me that there's two horror games that I like. Uh, but yeah, there's just so many games that I plan on playing. Like, obviously, you see some games I've completed already, but there's so many more games on my backlog that I want to complete on Xbox. And thanks to services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now, I get to play a lot of these games that I most likely wouldn't have played before, and I don't have to pay anything. Well, I do have to pay for the service fee, but it lets you play games that you may have been somewhat interested in, but you don't have to pay a full price. And it's a good way to introduce you to a lot of other things, and then more games in the future, which I think are pretty cool. But I think for starting off in November, going from 20,000 to 34,000 is pretty reasonable. And like I said, my goal for the end of 2022 is to hit 100,000 gamer score. So I got a lot of work to do. But now let's go over to PlayStation. All right, so now that we're on PlayStation, I get to show you a little bit more progress so far. And as I was saying earlier, my PlayStation goal is to get 30 platinums. And since starting off in November, I went from 9 platinums to 12 platinums, which I'm kind of proud of. And some of these, aren't aren't short games. Some of them are actually a little time consuming. But one of the things that I've actually done recently that I didn't do before is I'm actually kind of charting out how I'm playing games, because it's easy to get yourself burnt out on very long games, and it's also very easy to burn yourself out in short games. So that's why I've kind of have like a list of games that I write down, between the marks of like what I could be in under 10 hours, what I could be in under 30 hours, 40 to 80 hour games. And I also kind of break them up into genres too, because I feel like if you're going through all these different games, it's also good to mix up the genres here and there, so you don't just get burnt on like RPGs, platformers, etc. But going back to PlayStation, you can see my progress here. My most recent platinum is Spider-Man Remastered. This was actually a surprisingly good game. I'm not really much into superhero games. I think the last superhero game I played was whatchamacallit. It was the Batman Arkham games, and those are really good. And this one, in my opinion, ties Batman the Arkham games with like top tier superhero games. Like the combat was amazing, the story was good, and 3, which is probably really important, is I did not use the fast travel system in this game. I mean, I used it for the trophies, but like if I had to, I just swung around the city, because traversing in this game, like traversing the world in this game, is a ton of fun. I love the swinging. I love how cool it is. I love going to see different parts of the city and how like crimes pop up. I thought this was a really good game. But then you can also see other games here on my backlog that I also plan on completing at some point. Just so many games to do, and like I said, thanks to PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass, I get to play so many games that I wouldn't have given a try before until these services came up. So the way I'm going to go about doing this is every month I plan on doing like a pickup, because I'm also collecting at the same time. I'm not only just beating games, I'm also collecting. So while I'm doing this, I also plan on doing a monthly pickup thing where I show games that I've recently bought or recently played and completed. And then like every 3 months or so, I'll give it like a stat update of my trophy and achievement progress on how I'm doing. But hopefully you guys join me on this, and also during my journey, I would love to have this motivate you to play more games that you haven't played already, or you can even give me ideas of what to play next, because there's only so much one person can cover, and there might be things that completely slip under my radar that I would never have known of. And I'm hoping that you guys can also tell me games that are pretty cool or pretty interesting or fun to play that I should try out. So yes, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in future videos.